Hello students, welcome to the class of Cost Accounting TYB semester 5, and we are going to learn the next part of labor costing part 3, and this part is related to overtime, its meaning, approval causes, cost of overtime, disadvantages and controlling of overtime, and two more concepts are there, leave salary and time and motion study. First of all, meaning of overtime. So, it is the extra time worked by the worker over and above the normal working hours. Suppose the working shift in a factory is morning shift is there, suppose 8 to 12 or 8 to 4. Then after 4 p.m. whatever work is done by the worker will be treated as the overtime. Worker is paid higher rate of wages for this overtime. So overtime is already generally higher paid at higher rate. It can be paid for extra shift work, hazardous work, and working beyond the normal working hours. So here, this overtime approval sheet is related to the week from Monday dash dash to Sunday date will be written into this blank space. Only report time worked in this section from Monday to Sunday. The days given here: time in, time meal out, time meal in, time out, and time reporting code or absence time. Quantity, how much quantity is produced by the worker will be written into this column, and the comments, if any, should be written here. I certify the above to be true and correct, accounting of all time work and all time absent. Employee signature is there, supervisor signature is there, and timekeeper initials are there. So two authorities are going to sign this document, and whenever they will sign it, they are going to write their that date, respective date, and then only their overtime will be approved. So different causes of overtime are there. First, to achieve the scheduled production, uh, then to complete rush orders, and third is seasonal production when heavy demand is in the season. So if there is a rush order, suppose now Diwali is there, and if a factory is having a rush order, then they have to do the overtime and complete their production. Then some people do overtime for higher wages. Sometimes machine breakdown is there, and that time the labor has to work extra whenever the machine will be in the proper position or it will be repaired. When so here is one example. Uh, Now during this corona pandemic, there is huge demand for this prevention kit, sanitizer, masks and hand gloves. All these things are in demand for the time being. So this demand is arised suddenly. It was not scheduled demand, so it has been arised all of sudden, and now the production is been increased, but the labor was migrated to their home villages, so there was less quantity of labor and there was huge demand for these things. So whatever labor was available in the factories, they had to do the overtime. Then next part is overtime cost. There is first is direct cost method. Under this method, overtime cost is directly charged to the job concerned. And second method is overhead method. Under this method, overtime cost is treated as overheads. This cost can be charged to three things. First, department causing delay. Then second, department where work is done, and C, standing order number as work overheads. So in three, you can classify that overhead cost for overtime into three departments. Third, Costing profit loss account. Overtime required due to abnormal causes is charged to costing and profit and loss account. If overtime is required due to the abnormal conditions, then it will be treated as loss and hence it will be debited to the costing and profit and loss account. What are the disadvantages of overtime? First of all, it is going to cause the extra labor for the entrepreneur and they have to pay higher rate of wages. So it causes the extra labor cost. Second, overall productivity of a worker can be lowered due to the exertion. That labor is stretching himself. You can see the picture here. Sorry, I reached my overtime limit. That person is trying to do extra overtime, but his productivity will be lesser because he has been exhausted. Various health concerns for workers may arise there, like backache, strain on eyes. Even if you are working longer time on computers, then your fingers may be aching. The factory workers may have problems to their backbones, eyesight, and even where the pollution is at higher level, the workers will have asthma. Then fourth, workers may feel not getting equal opportunity to do overtime. Some workers are doing overtime, but others may be feeling that they are not getting any opportunity to do the overtime. So, due to that, some disputes may be there, or uh, the working culture or the working environment may affect due to that. It will also cause extra light cost for night hours. If extra shift will be taken there, then the extra light cost will be required. Then sometimes for higher wages, the employee may take overtime, but actually while doing that overtime work, he may be exhausted. This extra overtime will also increase the wear and tear of plant and machinery because you are going to exploit this plant and machinery for more time. So here is another example that overtime will decrease the productivity during normal working hours. So if you are working from morning 10 to evening 6, that is your normal working hour. But from 6 to 10, you do the overtime. And so you reach late. So at your home, then you will take your dinner late. Then it will be late for sleeping. So you will not get enough sleep, and due to that, during your actual normal working hours, that is 10 to 6, your productivity will be decreased. You may feel sleepy, you may feel exhausted, and that will affect your normal work. And such may impact on the quality of the goods also, so it may result in defective goods. Further, if a worker will have habit of overtime and extra wages, it is very difficult to give up such overtime because he is now having habit of extra wages and it is very difficult to leave that habit. Now there is a question of controlling the overtime because ultimately it turns into higher wages, so you need to control the overtime. It is the duty of the enterprise to control this overtime. So you can appoint a competent officer to authorize the overtime. He will look into the requirement. If it is required only, then only he will authorize. He will prepare the statement showing overtime requirement department wise. Then he can fix a higher limit of overtime Don't allow overtime without sanction. Sometimes what happens, workers do overtime and the next day they fill up the overtime sheet. But that overtime is not approved at earlier. It should be approved before doing the overtime. But some workers do these gimmicks. That should not be allowed. Compare work output in normal hours and overtime hours. The officer who is allowing or who is authorizing this overtime should make the comparison that whether the output during normal hours is lesser than the overtime hours or it is more than the overtime hours. If such thing will happen, if the output in normal hours is lesser and the output in overtime hours is more, then it is wrong. So it is causing you extra cost. That means that worker is not doing full utilization of his capacity during normal hours, but he is utilizing his capacity in overtime hours. So actually there is no need of overtime in such cases. Then send periodic report to the top management. So periodic report is helpful to analyze if there is requirement of overtime or not, how much you are spending on such overtime, which people are working overtime. So that can be analyzed and controlled. Next point is about leave salary. So leave salary is nothing to do with the overtime, but it is another part of your labor cost. The Factories Act provides for annual leave with full pay for a certain number of days. Workers are also entitled for medical leave, casual leave and special leave, etc. So, workers may exercise such leaves or may not. So, in such cases, if they have not exercised this, then some leaves can be encashed, but some of these leaves will not be allowed to be encashed. So again there are two methods. One is direct cost method, second is leave salary. First is direct cost method, and in such case leave salary will be added to the labor cost itself. That means it will be added to wages. Then under overheads method, it will be added to overheads. That means it will be treated as indirect labor cost. Last part of this session is related to time and motion study. Two studies are there. First is time study and second is motion study. So what is time study? Time study decides the time spent on each element of a job. So here you can see this person is assembling a TV circuit. It is a smart TV. It's a TV of Redmi, and he is assembling that TV circuit. Right? Here you can see the TV circuit is here. He is assembling that. So if time study for this assembly will be taken, then the company can decide how much total time is required for assembling this TV, right? So total time for all the stages for job is called standard time, and that standard time can be calculated due to this time study. The standard time is the time taken by an average worker to complete a job under normal working conditions. This word is important, that standard time is calculated under normal working condition, not under abnormal working condition. If there is strike in factory, if there is power failure, if there is machine failure, such conditions will be excluded. Only normal conditions will be considered. Second part is motion study. Motion study divides the work into basic operations of a job or process. So there may be some basic operations for each job or the process. It eliminates unnecessary operations. So motion study finds the most scientific and systematic method to perform a job. Both are complementary to each other. So here you can see one example. This is the assembly line at Ford Motors. So this is an old photograph, but we can consider it as an example. These people are assembling this motor. So on this assembly line, here you can see these workers are working, but this production is going on, or assembly line is in one order. It is a line. So it has been studied what is required here. So all things are here. You can see all things are kept here. Whatever is required for this motor, these people can take these things here. So unnecessary operations are eliminated, and one by one the things can be assembled here. So it will save the time. So what are the benefits of time and motion study? First of all, it utilizes the available resources at optimum level. That means maximum utilization of the available resources. Second, it helps in deciding labor requirements, standard labor cost, fair wages and incentive wages. Next, it helps in finding best method of operation. So it will help the best method of operation to be decided. Then it facilitates improvement in work methods. So this time and motion study will help you to improve the work methods. Then it facilitates budget and it assists in proper planning and control. So these are the benefits of time and motion study. So thank you very much.